You decide to come back. You decide to come back into your mommy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 2, I believe. Oh, excuse me, day 40. Yes, it is day 42. Of our online Facebook Yin Pranayama practice. As I continue to speak today, come into your breath. We will be using a wall, so keep a wall or use this time to find a wall or a little bit of elevation, even if you have just a bit of a couch or the bottom part of a chair, anything that you can get even just the back of your thighs onto. So as I set up this class, take a moment to find a natural breath. Find a comfortable sitting. If you need a block, something to lift your hips, please feel free to accommodate as necessary. Just take a minute to come into the body, come into your breath, feeling the natural wave, the balloon in your abdomen, the diaphragm expanding, and just really visualize the muscle of the diaphragm attached to the lower ribs drawing downwards, and by virtue of doing so, really lengthening all the space for the internal organs, breathing nice and deeply, feeling the wave moving from the base of your body up to the top of the crown of your skull. Trying to lengthen the exhale to be twice as long as our inhale. If you find your mind wandering, come back to your breath. Reminding ourselves, yoga is ultimately a breathing practice. All physical movement is only to prepare ourselves, our mind, to sit for Raja Yoga, which is the king yoga, which is the only real yoga. Everything else except for yin is just exercise. Yin is something a little bit different, which is what we will explore today. So on your next exhale, let's begin the warm-up. Exhaling, hands down off the knees. Inhaling, arms up, palms facing upward, shoulders down, eyes of the elbows opening, touching the tips of your fingers, and turning, palms now facing downward, keeping the body lengthening, shoulders dropping, melting down the spine. And let your subsequent movements be a little bit slower than your last. So inhaling up. Feel the balloon in your belly expanding. Touching the tips of the fingers and exhaling down 3 times to unite the body and the mind through the breath. The breath has some very powerful qualities that we do not appreciate. It is a chemical reaction changer. You hold your breath, you see what's going to happen. It's a powerful thing. And exhale down. Let's keep our arms halfway, turn the palms to face upward. Take a moment here to feel gravity working with you. Feel that weight coming into the shoulders. Let that force sink down, dripping down the spine, the shoulders melting along your vertebral column. Feel the eyes of the elbows opening. Continuing to breathe very deeply here. Stretching out the neck on your next inhale, bending left fingers up to the right temple, right hand coming down. You can tent the fingers or flatten them down or use your puppy or a block or anything else as a bit of an elevation to support. Once you've found your place, pressing the temples down. Find that sweet spot, little self-massage, and exhale, chin to the chest. Warming up the neck is essential. We will do this most times when we warm up or some variety thereof. And exhale on your next descent. Release the hand, looking towards your armpit, dropping the palm down, and quarter circles, chin to the chest, and inhaling up. Making sure the spine remains long, lengthening. And when your chin is back center, inhaling, arms up, shoulders down. Same thing on the opposite side. So finding that sweet spot on the outside of the temple, dropping the opposite hand and chin to the chest, nodding yes. Deep and slow movements, just warming up, getting all of those kinks, any tension. Arms out to side. And head framing the elbows. So lifting nice and high. And exhale, just slightly folding to one side, looking up. Feel the stretch. And inhale, opposite side as we exhale. And feeling the stretch. Let's bring them out to the side. And as we breathe, stretching out the shoulders. So inhaling as we open. Exhale as we close. Inhale as we open. Bringing the hands back, interlacing the fingers, lifting the arms as high as you can. And once you've found your edge, exhale with a nice straight spine, folding forward. You can let the hands rotate outwards, stretching out the palms, all the joints of the fingers, the wrists. Keep the shoulders moving down, away from the ears. And inhale, let's come up, hands again out to the side. Holding here for just a moment. And let's exhale down to the left. So again, if you plant the fingers, flatten the palm, or coming down onto your forearm, or of course, keeping a block or a little bitty puppy nearby, and you can adjust the block however you may need to. Just give yourself a little bit of balance. And into a nice side body stretch, relaxing the legs. Looking up just past the armpit or through the bicep. And exhale, dropping the hand down, coming into a twist and turning with everything you've got. Inhale to the opposite side, coming down. Nice long side body. And when you're ready, increasing the depth and twisting. Exhaling, releasing any tension, finding any pockets of space. And inhaling back up, bring the arms again out to the side, palms facing upwards. Going to come into another shoulder opener in Garudasana of the arms. So let's start with the left arm on top. So bring the arms in front, crossing the elbows, going out as far as you can, and then starting to bring the palms almost coming back. Crossed elbows, bringing the hands up, and then slowly just starting to bring them back towards each other. So you may need to inch them in a little bit, and that may not be accessible. It may be something just like this, holding on. We're trying to open the shoulders. So we're going to inhale, lift wherever we are, and exhale, fold, keeping the chin tucked into the chest. And inhaling, open your arms. And opposite side. Now the right on top, crossing the elbows and coming into that hug if that's your first stage. Otherwise, starting to bring the palms together. Inhaling, lift, and exhale, rounding down, keeping the chin into the chest. And inhale, release, coming up. Wonderful. We'll do a little Nadi Shodhana Pranayama before we come into our first yin position, which will be 2 legs up the wall. But prior to that, Nadi Shodhana Pranayama with Kumbhaka. So retention, both an internal Antar Kumbhaka and an external Bahar Kumbhaka. So if you're familiar with the practice, please begin now. Otherwise, we are going to do an inhale for however long your natural breath is. If it's 3 seconds, fine. Hold for 3 and exhale for twice as long or trying to expand. And then hold for that same breath. So it's a 1, 1, 2, 2 count. If you have a 3-second inhale, 3-second internal hold, 6-second exhale, 6-second. I will talk us through the first round, demonstrate for the second, and practice along with you for the third. My hand is just the guide for you. You can keep your hands on the knees, palms facing downwards for a sense of knowledge, palms facing upwards, seeking knowledge. Hands can be in a variety of mudras, and if you're familiar with them, find one that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, bringing the thumb and the middle finger together helps to keep the circulation and the energy flow. Also, you can come into Kichari Mudra, which is pressing the tip of the tongue against the top of the back of the teeth and just slightly coming back. Find that soft palate. So when you're ready, bringing the right thumb against the right nostril, exhaling completely through the left. And when you're ready, inhale, count your breath and close. Hold for the same amount of breath and open right. Exhale for twice as long as your inhalation. Use your diaphragm, and when you're ready, exhale, hold it out. Bahar Kumbhaka, external breath retention. When you're ready, deep breath, and notice it will be a little bit longer this time. Notice it and hold for the same amount of lengthened time. And exhale, doubling again. So if now you've gone from a 3-second to a 4-second inhale, you've gone from a 6-second to an 8-second exhale and Bahar Kumbhaka, external breath retention. When you're ready, I will follow with you. Finishing off your last round, finishing off the last cycle. And when you have completed, releasing the hands from the nose, giving yourself a little wipe if you need it. You may notice one nostril was blocked. If that's the case, if you're sick or have allergies, it's understandable. Otherwise, work through it. The opening of the nostril correlates to the hemisphere of the active brain, and it does change every 90 seconds or so. So you can start to kind of strategize when is the best time to take a test, when is the best time to go shopping, have a party, play with your puppies, etc., etc. Okay, without further ado, yogi practitioner, meet the wall. Wall, yogi practitioner. Let's come to the wall. Thank you for the audio check. Fantastic. And up against the wall. We're going to come into a 2-leg raised and a straddle position as well. So first of all, sitting side to side, hip distance, or maybe an inch or so away. And we're just gonna lean back and bring the legs up. Now, if you would like to have a bit of a deeper, more intense position, you can bring a block and just stick it right under the tailbone, Viparna Karanasi. Otherwise, we're going to hold this for 5 deep breaths, getting the circulation from the tips of the toes back to the core of the body. And we're going to hold this for 5 minutes. So mentally prepare yourself. You can also begin to open the legs if you'd like to get a deeper stretch in the inner thigh. You can come into a Konasana position or just leave them straight up the wall. Whatever position works for you. Arms can be out by your side or down along the body. And just feel the lengthening of your spine. Feel the relaxation in your shoulders, your hips, your tailbone. And focus on your breath. Feel the wave of oxygen moving from the belly to the ribs, to the thoracic, to the chest, up into the neck, the cavities of the face, the crown of the head. If you find your body creating space, take it. That's just about 1.5 minutes in this position. Staying for another 3 minutes or so. Starting to feel the phase change happening in the body. Starting to feel the blood circulation returning to the core and just noticing any sensations. Without judgment, without expectation, just breathe and push through the space. Fill your belly, fill your chest, and filling the backs of the lungs, let the breath massage your back. Inhale, increasing the pressure against, feeling grounded. Feeling connected to your body, connected to the earth energies, that creationism of spring. It's coming up now to just about 3 minutes, so just over our halfway mark. Sitting with your breath is one of the most difficult things that we can do. And in fact, you may have found your mind wandering. You may have been running through your errands or to-do list. You may physically even start to feel some discomfort or pain. Sitting with the breath is one of the most difficult things that we can do, but yet it is the most powerful tool available to humans. It's like the distraction is a bit of a moat, some sort of protection, some fencing that guards the great potential that lies at the end of the vehicle of the breath, because the breath truly is a passageway, a vortex, a channel to take you to another perspective. Coming up to 4.5 minutes. So by now you'll start to feel the temperature changing throughout the legs as the blood drips back to the core of the body. Feel the heaviness in the legs opening. Feel the femur bones just angling into the socket, activating the deep connective fascia tissue. And that's our 5 minutes. So we're going to come out of this nice and slowly. You can come one leg at a time or both. Inhaling back to center, and then just bend the knees, bringing them into the gas release or into the chest. And you can even put the soles of the feet on the wall here. So creating a bit of a resistance, or you can pull them in, arms lengthening up above us, and just try to relax the shoulders, relax the spine, pushing the shoulders intentionally down away from the ears. When you're ready, we're just going to walk the feet up about foot distance or so. Now my feet are hiding under my beautiful tapas here. So I'm just going to demonstrate as is. Exhale, bringing the hands down beside you again. We're going to do a reverse table, modified, of course, up the wall. Now be very gentle with the neck. Look at me first for the demonstration. We're going to inhale, start to press into the feet and start to round up the spine. And we've seen this position before, flat on the ground, but this time up against the wall. You can adjust the legs if you feel it's too tight. Bring them up a little bit higher. And exhale down. Again, vertebrae by vertebrae. Make this your meditation. Now, it'll be a lot easier to follow the vertebrae like this because we have gravity on our side. So again, let's find some space and length in the spine. Again, as we lift, pushing into the feet, curling the hips forward, tucking the chin into the chest. Shoulders are down and strong. Do not look around. Breathing deeply into the balloon in your belly. And exhale, coming down. I'm sorry, I ought to have mentioned if you are menstruating or pregnant, this is not the best position for you. Nothing to do with any of those fertility issues, but just with the rhythms of the body. If you have hypertension or any sort of other sort of circulatory condition that would cause difficulty in an inversion, do be mindful of that. Your body is your teacher. I am here as your mere guide. We'll do one more. Inhaling up. And if you do want to take it to the next level, you can start to bend your elbows in, bringing the fingertips to the spine, thumb to the outer edge of your waist. And very slowly, we're going to start to lift a leg. You might even let gravity hang down and just see what happens. And bringing it back up to the opposite side. So inhaling, lift. And feel that lightness that comes when you've released the muscles of their task. And exhale, coming down. And inhale back up. Wonderful. Flattening the sole. And rolling the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Wonderful. And let's bring the legs down and drop them to the left side. So bending the knees in, and we're just going to fold over just as though we were coming into Shavasana. Through that fetal position, use the arms to lift you up. And we're going to sit against the wall. Okay, so sitting nice and tight. If your right side is against the wall, let's bend the right knee to be up nice and tight. Bring both hands to the inside of the right leg. Left leg straight, lengthening. Inhaling, arms up. And exhale, bringing the right hand forward and putting it against the right knee. Opposite hand can look behind us, using the platform to stabilize. And we're in a modified Matsyendrasana here, of course, but really feel the stability and the positioning of your spine. When we do this with the wall, we're able to see if we're coming forward, if we're squared, if we're in line with the center. And let's release, coming back to center, leaning back, just a little basket position, rolling on that lower spine, inhaling up, and we'll do the same on the opposite side. So turning, left leg now, pressing up, arms to the inside, inhaling up, left arm forward to the left knee, or you can take it a little bit deeper as well if you'd like. Right arm, pillars behind you, and turning, twisting, and breathing. Exhale, let's release. And again, coming back to that little basket type of Kundalini massage. Inhale, coming up. Bring the knees down, and we're going to come to a modified cat-cow. So first of all, just in a tabletop position with your feet flat against the wall. Okay, so that's a bit of a measurement there for us. So right now we want the feet against the wall, and we're going to inhale a few cat-cows. So inhaling, lifting your chin, your chest, your tailbone, and push down with your palms, your knees, your belly dropping. And continuing to breathe. Exhaling. And inhale as we lift the head. Nice and slow movements. And feel the spine lengthening. And releasing any tension. And going back to our first position. Let's now take the right leg and just bending it up slightly so that the calf is flat against the wall. Okay, so we're in a bit of a kneeling lunge position. We're going to come into a modified pigeon. So with our left leg, that's just reaching forward. So we're sort of in a swan type of position, getting a deep stretch here. Now, if this is too tight, come away from the wall and just let the foot, so you can ignore that first measurement of having the feet up against the wall. So wherever you are, with the right knee pushing against the wall, right foot up the wall, take a little micro step with the left knee forward and just kind of feel the balance here. Wiggle your way into it. And then just exhale, walk yourself down. You can allow the hip to slightly come out to the side if there's too much of a scrunch in the hips. Otherwise, let's hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. On your next inhale, let's lift, stepping, or rather folding forward up onto that front leg. Back leg can keep lifting, and we're just going to slightly lean back. Keep the foot up the wall, and just, you can have the toes pressing in and just a bit of a push. Okay, so another bit of a deep hip opener. The wall is a wonderful teacher. And when you're ready, let's exhale. Same thing on the opposite side. So first, finding our positioning, flattening the soles to the wall. My nice 5 3/4 inch baseboards from my dad. Thanks, Dad. Making sure your palms are open. That first knuckle takes the weight. We are still in a balance here. If you don't think so, remove your hands and see what happens to your nose. Feel the spine lengthening, shoulders are dropping down. Let's bring the opposite leg now up, pressing the knee to the ground, toes pointing upward, and just inch that opposite leg forward. Wiggle through this just a little bit. Feeling the hip, hamstring. Breathing. And when you're ready, let's walk the hands forward. And we're going to hold for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. On your next inhale, walking the hands back. Coming up off the wall, take this step forward with the opposite leg. Just take a bit of a front lean. And stepping back, lift that leg a little bit higher and pushing the toes into the wall, hands into the floor, lengthening your neck or allowing the back of the neck to stretch out. Cervical spine needs some release. Breathing nice and deeply here. And exhale, coming down. Good. We're going to prepare, not quite yet, one little bit challenging, tough, possibly a yang position we're going to come into in a moment. So if you're not comfortable doing it, you can come straight into Balasana or a child's position. We'll meet you there. Otherwise, let's try for a downward dog against the wall. So again, finding our distance. We want to flatten the soles against the wall. We don't want our feet to be flat on the floor. We want the feet to be flat on the wall. This is going to give a little bit of extra space in the back of our legs. If once we're up, we want to flatten the feet to the floor. If you feel you're comfortable to do that, you are more than welcome. Otherwise, we're just going to start to push the hands in and keep the knees bent. Keep the feet pushing into the wall. And starting to lengthen the legs. And if you're comfortable, you can start to bring the feet flat to the ground. And of course, if you need just the hands to come out a little bit further, it's up to you. If you are menstruating or have those same hypertension issues that I mentioned earlier, please do not come into this next inversion. Or if you don't want any yang in your life tonight. Otherwise, we're going to try for a modified handstand position. So starting with the right leg, let's just start to walk up the wall. And you may need to adjust the hands a little bit here. Find your measurement. And just holding here. Now that may be a bit intense. So wherever you find yourself, again, pushing into your hands, just like in a downward dog. Chin is into the chest. That first knuckle is very important now. That takes the weight. And exhale. Let's come down. And directly into Balasana, child's position, which we will hold for 5 minutes. Opening the knees. Toes are touching. Walk the hands forward. Get mentally prepared to be here for the next 5 wonderful minutes of your life. Feel the breath working down the spine. Activate your fingers on the ground. Melt into your hips. Feel the balloon in your belly dropping between the thighs. Feel the wave of oxygen rolling first from your belly through the internal organs, secondly along the spine, starting at the base chakra, the Svadhisthani chakra, at the base of the spine. In any forward bend, we have a physical condition of prostration and surrender. Mentally, we adapt the qualities of acceptance. A minute and a half. We will be holding this for another 3 minutes. If at any time you need to adjust your body, please do, but do keep in mind the three of yin yoga. They are time, stillness, and your edge. We need at least 40, 50 seconds to start to release the hyaluronic energy within the joints. Stillness allows the gross muscles to release any tension so the body can actually get into the deeper connective tissue. If we don't release biceps, triceps, quadriceps, all those major muscle groups, we are not going to get into the fascia and therefore cannot gain the benefit of the practice. And fascia is something I've talked about often. I will continue to come back to it. Essentially, it is our newest, latest, greatest sense. It is your superhero armor. It is the thing that makes you your great version of yourself. Activate that fascia to feel comfortable in our bodies and confident in our lives. That's 3 minutes. Continuing to breathe here very deeply. Feel the expansion in the side body. Make sure the shoulders are down, dropping away from the ears, lengthening through the neck. Time, stillness, and your edge. Your edge is 70% of your full capacity, so we never want to come into a yin position at 100% because we then are more inclined to give off, come back out of it as time goes on, and that for all kinds of reasons is not what we're after. We want to start at a place where we feel we are comfortable and sink down into the body. Taking your last few breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to look forward, just start to walk the hands forward so we lift the hips. You may need to adjust your legs a little bit. Now in the puppy position, we're going to come into a deeper shoulder stretch. So inhale, slight lift, lifting the right arm, looping it through, palm facing upward, and exhale down. Feel the shoulders opening and drop your head. We're going to hold this for 1 minute. And when you're ready on your next inhale, let's come back up to center, switching palms, lifting the opposite one, looping it through, walking it over, and lengthening, and opposite side. We're going to hold this for 1 minute. Allow the palms to be relaxed. Forward facing palm is down, side facing palm is up. Feel the shoulders opening, spine lengthening. Feel the sensations in your feet. And on your next inhale, slowly coming back to center, and let's walk the arms back, nice and gentle. A yin position will make us feel very tight. That is a good thing. That is how tight we are, is how deeply we release. Let's just sit on our heels here for a moment, or rather, sit on the front of our feet and just lean back. Just a slight little ankle opener. Palms can be down. Your hands can act to balance or in a prayer or otherwise position. And change to curl your toes under, stretching out the bottom of the feet. So the little baby toe is still involved. Just move on back. Allow ourselves. We're not going to do a squat today. A lot of fun things we can do in a squatting position. Oh, jeepers creepers. But for now, coming into a nice Navasana. So starting nice and easy, wrapping the elbows around the knees and just lean back. Feel the stretch in the shoulders, opening the whole back. And remember, it's so egocentric of us to think that the lungs are facing forward just because our faces, all of our senses are pointing that way. We sort of ego arrogantly think that the rest of us is facing out this way. But in fact, our lungs have more capacity in the back. Let's just drop ourselves down a little bit. Bring the hands down to the knees. Feel the sacrum, the nice pressure. Sacrum, of course, is the seat of the great Kundalini energy. Kunda means 3.5 coiled snake, which is the base of all the spines of the humans, just waiting to arise, to ascend up the Sushumna, or up the Ida, down the Pingala, and then through the Sushumna again. When you're ready, let's just roll that tailbone. So lifting, drawing your elbows down, pulling into the knees. Put a little slight back bend, gentle with your neck, but wanting to stretch out the face as well. And follow your breath. You might really find this a powerful position. Or you may find it very painful if you have different back issues. So again, just adapt for your needs. And when you're ready, let's exhale, coming all the way down, coming into our closing routine. Keep your strap nearby if you need it. Let's inhale both legs up to begin. Allow them just to hang there in the air for a minute. Feel the pressure again, or the different pressure now in your lower back. You can make small circles, one direction and the next. Bouncing the legs. Give a little scissors kick or what have you. On your next breath, let's cross the left over the right. So nice. angle here and looping the arms through either to the back of the thigh, front of the shin, or even using your strap for a bit of a wider angle. You can even bring your hands and deepen it if you'd like, coming into a Ardha Padmasana Havasana. Wherever you find yourself, make sure that we are opening the hip. We're going to hold this for 2 minutes. Find your edge, find stillness, and find your breath. Follow your breath through your body. Travel to the limbs, the molecules, the intestines, the bones, the veins. Go into your toenails. Be in every molecule of your body. And release. And relax. And breathe. Coming up on 1 minute, we'll do this for the same amount of time longer. If you find a few inches or millimeters of space, take it by drawing the leg closer to you. Being sure to keep the shoulders down. And just observe without judgment, without expectation. Reminding yourself of the balloon in your belly. The balloon in your side ribs. And on your next exhale, let's release the hands out to a T-shaped position. Cross the legs over. You might want to put Garudasana into the legs, so that's that same sort of wrapping around. Otherwise, simply holding them knees tight together is fine. Otherwise, Garudasana or eagle position. And exhale, let's fall down to the right side and looking to the left. Releasing the lower back. And we're going to hold here for 1 minute. Twisting is a digestive agent. Any thoughts or food or gaseous matter, let it go. It does not belong to you. Allow it to return. We would not dream of holding on to any sort of intestinal matter that is being processed and metabolized through the body. Why would we do so to our thoughts or otherwise? Allow that process to complete itself to get the full benefits. Taking another few breaths here. And when you're ready, let's look back towards the knees. And we're going to leg and straighten it out. Now here you may need your strap, or you can just hang to the outer edge of the upper leg and inhaling up. Once you're at the top, let's switch hands and exhale out to the side. And just let that full rotation of the hip seep down. And when you're ready, we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So crossing now the right foot over the left, finding binding, using your strap as you may desire. And we will hold this for 2 minutes. Let the shoulders be pulled down by the grip of your hands along your shin. Any thoughts that come, let it go with your exhale, just as morning mist rises from a body of water, evaporating the heat. Breathing into your belly, lengthening through your spinal column. Our bodies are relaxed but active. That's 1 minute. We'll hold for another minute longer. And just paying attention without judgment, without expectation of any sensations happening in the body. And breathe. Feel the diaphragm drawing down on the ribs, expanding through the belly. Taking your last round of breath here. On your next exhale, releasing the hands, crossing the legs, really tightening the knees together. You can loop the toe and just hook it behind the ankle in Garudasana, arms out to the side, or of course you can just have the legs crossed. And let's exhale now to the opposite side. Turning your head to look in the opposite direction. And we're going to hold for 1 minute. As you breathe, don't allow the diaphragm to fall prey to the twist. Keep the strength moving through the belly, drawing the muscular force of the diaphragm. One more breath here. Keep your strap ready if you need it. Let's unravel and extend the top leg, lengthening out to the side. And inhale, bringing it up, crossing the arms, and opening out to the opposite side. Just getting that full rotation of the hip. And when you're ready, let's release, coming back to center, and finding ourselves in Shavasana. Close your eyes, open your mind, soften your heart, deepen your breath, relax your body. Scanning your consciousness through your physical, anatomical self, looking for any areas of tension or tightness. allowing any discomfort to release with the breath. And your eyes closed, breath deep, heart soft, mind open, body relaxed. When you are ready, very gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Allow your head to turn to the left and to the right. Inhaling as arms overhead, interlace the fingers, unfolding to the left and the right. Inhaling, bending the knees in, holding nice and tight, and allowing the body to rock side to side, up and down, back and forth, making small, medium, or large circles with the knees in one direction and the next. And when you're ready, keeping the knees tucked in, rolling onto your right hand side, using the right bicep as a pillow. In this original yoga position, the fetal position, take a moment to send your gratitude to all of those who have helped you. Send your gratitude to all of those who have challenged you. Send your love to all of those who are suffering within your life and within the greater humanity. Allow a smile to come across the face, endorphins from the practice, reminding yourself that the effects of the yoga will continue long after we leave the mat. And when you're ready, very gently starting to lift back up into a comfortably seated position. Take a moment to feel the effects of the practice on the body. Allow your hands to come to the knees for a moment. Just feel the difference without judgment or expectation. As is traditional, allow the thumbs to press into the sternum, fingers away from the heart, giving direction and rhythm to your life. The end Om is a practice of deepening your breath as well as increasing your vibration. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Atma, Namaste. you very much for your time, your practice. And as always, a reminder, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the emotions, you are the breath, you are the light.